What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It's your boy Christian Anahar. We are here today to do my top 5 favorite zombie movies. Now, you want to know the God's honest truth? I really am not a huge fan of the broad spectrum term of zombie movies. Obviously, there are some movies in this list that you've heard me talk about many times before, and I adore them. But as far as just like watching zombie movies a bunch all the time, I'm not really into it, which is kind of weird. But these movies captivate me and have my heart. Not exactly in a particular order, but kinda, you know what I mean. So let's get started. And some of you may look at this list and say, well, that was a really boring and kind of predictable list. But you know what? I'm looking you in the eyes. This is my genuine top 5. I mean, this really is my top 5. So number 5, Return of the Living Dead Part 3. I love this movie because it just feels different. It doesn't really feel like a zombie film. I love the beginning scenes when the army or the military is messing with the 2,4,5-trioxin, with the experiments with that guy. Oh, it was beautiful. I loved it. I love the feel of this movie and the style and the 90s feel to it. Great movie. Some people hate it, some people like it, and very few people love it. I'm one of them. No, I take that back. I think a lot of people have really started to, have this film grow on them, and it really is a great installment in the Return of the Living Dead series. It's probably the last that's considered the classic Return of the Living Deads. So there's that. That's number 5. Number 4 is, I call it Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. This may be sacrilege to some people. I can't help but love the remake of Night of the Living Dead. I love Tom Savini's remake. I really do. To me, it's my style. It's a little bit more contemporary, but still very classic feeling. Tony Todd's fantastic in the movie. The look of this movie, the practical effects are incredible. I love this movie. I really do. I watch this movie. This movie has an innate amount of replay value. I can watch this movie every time and genuinely feel the joy of every single time I watch it. This movie is perfect. I love Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 version. But don't worry, George, you have your day in the sun, no pun intended, Day of the Dead. This is my favorite, and I think George has said this is his favorite as well. To me, Day of the Dead just feels right. It's the right year, it's the right look, it's the right sound. It's the right style. It's the right theme for a zombie type film like this. And I think George just killed it on Day of the Dead. To me, they got better as they went on up to a certain point. But I take that back. None of them are really bad. But this to me is the pinnacle of zombie movies. Is Day of the Dead. This is awesome, fantastic movie. Love Day of the Dead. Don't really know what else to say about it. This movie is just perfect. I love Day of the Dead. Number 4, Return of the Living Dead. Dan O'Bannon made a great movie that no one can ever take away. Nobody thought he would make it. Nobody thought it was going to be anything. A bunch of unknowns. Punk rock music. Everything going against this film being successful. And yet it was hugely successful. This movie is something I think about every day of my life in some form of fashion. Return of the Living Dead is always going to be in my back of my mind, and that is a gift from Dan O'Bannon that I can't thank him enough for. This movie really it has my soul to a certain extent, where it's just in my bones, this movie, and I love it. I live it. I eat it. I sleep it. I drink it. Return of the Living Dead. God bless everybody involved. This movie was just perfect. This movie is absolutely perfect. I love Return of the Living Dead. And you're going to see what my number 1 is, but I want to say this before I do that. This is in my opinion, this is one of the greatest horror movies ever made, period. And my number 1 is Return of the Living Dead Part 2. This movie is just, a lot of people just say, it's okay. And it seems like a lot of movies that I fall in love with are movies that a lot of people just say, well, it's a sequel. Number 2 is okay. And I hear that in a lot of regards. This movie, to me, it's just, I love everything about it. It's from the point of view of a kid. I love the sound and the look of this film. And I just love this film. I can't give you a real reason why it's my number 1. It just really is. I love the soundtrack. I love the pace, the comedy in this, the special effects, but this film really just does, it's perfect to me. This is my movie, you know. Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is my movie, if that makes sense, and I just love it. So, you know, this may not, this one may be everybody being like, oh, that kind of falls flat for a number one. But guys, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. My job is not to lie to you guys. My job is to be honest with you, because I want you to always be honest with me. This is my number one, Return of the Living Dead Part 2. I love it. But that's it, guys. My 5 favorite zombie movies. Get to typing. I want to know in the comments, or do a video. I want to see somebody, and tell me in the comments you're going to do a video, because I want to go watch it. Tell me, Christian, check out my video of my top 5 favorite zombie movies. But that's mine. So we'll be back very soon. We might be looking at some Psycho films next. But this is Christian Hennig Horror. Y'all have a great day. It's a beautiful day outside. I might go enjoy some of it. And we'll see you guys very, very soon.